There's been a lot of false information, what the left calls misinformation, disinformation about what's going on in these first 30 days. It hasn't even been 30 days. It's reminiscent of FDR's first 100 days, and they call it the MAGA revolution. It's not a revolution. It is a counter-revolution. There's a big difference. This is a restoration. Let's use the word Trump restoration.
Welcome back to Expert Playback. Today we're doing something special. We're taking Victor Davis Hanson's insights from Trump's first month in office and comparing them to his thoughts now, 4 months in. What you just heard was Victor explaining why so many Americans felt ready for what he calls a counter-revolution. Now let's explore what was really at stake in those early days, and then we'll jump forward to see how it's all playing out.
We don't really appreciate what we've been through with 8 years of the Obama revolution and the 4-year more radical third term of Obama, using or employing the wax and effigy of Joe Biden. A revolution that we've experienced was a cultural, economic, political, social revolution. It was very similar to the French Revolution under the Robespierre brothers. We should remember what they tried to do. They changed the days of the week. They renamed things. They tore down statues. They went after the church. Does this sound familiar? We invented a third gender and rammed it down people's throats. We tore down statues. We said 1776 was no longer the foundational date. It was 1619. We changed the very mechanism that we vote. We went from 70% of the electorate voting on election day to 70% of the electorate not doing that, either through mail-in or early voting. That was a radical change that had no discussion. It was done by fiat. It was incredible. So we're in the midst of a counter-revolution. It's not revolutionary. You know what it is? It's a return to normalcy. It's a return to common sense. It only looks revolutionary to revolutionaries. But to the rest of the people, it is a counter-revolution to restore normalcy and bring the country from the far left fringes back home again.
So that's Victor's take on month one, and you can see why he uses that French Revolution comparison. He's arguing that years of rapid cultural changes, from how we think about gender to how we conduct elections, left a lot of people feeling like their country was changing too fast, without their input. Trump's early presidency was essentially promising to pump the brakes and restore what many saw as common sense. But here's the big question. 4 months later, is any of this actually working? Let's find out.
We're at 4 months now in the new Trump second administration. And a strange thing has happened. If you look at the polls after diving for Trump, but nevertheless, Trump in the Real Clear Politics averages, which to be fair, have a preponderance of left-wing polls, is still only about a point and a half down. But in other polls, Rasmussen, he's either even or he's a couple of points ahead. How can he be almost equal and much higher than he was at his first term at this time? And the answer is twofold. Number one is what he's doing. Every time people say we're headed for a recession or his trade war is going to tank the economy, data comes out. This week it was that corporate profits were unusually high, strong. It came out that we're not in a housing recession, that housing sales are steady. Inflation is down. Energy prices are way down. Economic growth is up. Joblessness is down. The border is 99% closed. We've gone from over 150,000 entries down to less than 8,000. In many places, fewer. The wall is going to be continued. The Border Patrol is increased. The deportations, despite the court orders, continue. So the things that he's doing are very popular, especially to the working classes, black, white, Hispanic. They like cheap gas prices. They like news that there's going to be $8 to $10 trillion of investment and new jobs in assembly manufacturing in the United States. But there's another facet, and that is not Trump, but the people who despise Trump and are attacking Trump. When the electorate looks at that and they say, well, Trump I like everything he's doing, but I don't like what he said about Canada. It just kind of bothers me. And so when you add the fact that the economic news is pretty good, and there's a lot of initiatives on the horizon, peace initiatives, foreign investment initiatives, trade initiatives, add it all up, things are going pretty good in the country. Donald Trump is a whirlwind. He's staging a counter-revolution, and most of the issues that he's trying to undo of the Progressive Project, the public supports him, and his Democratic opposition 4 months into his tenure has still completely lost its mind, and not only does not offer an alternative agenda, but personally, emotionally, psychologically puts people off. They do not like the way that they're talking, they do not like the way they're acting, and they don't like them in general.
And there you have it. Victor's assessment 4 months in is pretty clear. Whether you love Trump or hate him, Victor is pointing to some hard numbers. Border crossings down 95%, economic indicators trending up, and poll numbers that aren't budging despite non-stop negative coverage. What's fascinating is his point about people caring more about results than tweets or controversies. The real test, according to Hanson, isn't what the media says, it's whether working families feel better off. What do you think? Are these early wins sustainable, or is this just a honeymoon period?
If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button so more people see it. And if you want more sharp takes on global power plays, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.